Have you ever heard yourself say yes to something? And in that exact same second, felt that horrible sinking feeling in your stomach? It's this immediate wave of regret that quickly sours into resentment. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and it's not some kind of personal failure. I spent years of my life trapped in that people-pleasing cycle, absolutely terrified of letting anyone down. But I eventually discovered something that changed everything. There are deep-seated reasons we feel this way, and they're wired into our biology and our upbringing. In this video, I'm going to share the secrets I learned to finally say no without that awful, gut-wrenching guilt, so you can get your time, your energy, and your peace of mind back. Hi, I am Molly from Fearless Wolf Life Coaching. To get rid of the guilt, we first have to understand its story. This isn't just about being too nice. That guilt you feel is actually a powerful signal from your brain, but it's often misinterpreting the situation. First, let's talk biology. Our brains evolved to see social rejection as a legitimate threat to our survival. For our ancestors, being cast out of the group meant losing access to food and protection. So today, even in a low-stakes situation, saying no can trigger a primal fear of abandonment, activating the same parts of the brain that process physical pain. That knot in your stomach or your racing heart. That's your body's alarm system going off because it senses a social risk. Second, many of us are conditioned to be this way. From a young age, society often reinforces people-pleasing behaviors, especially for women, who are frequently socialized to be agreeable and self-sacrificing. In fact, studies show girls are often praised for obedience, learning that their value is tied to what they do for others and how well they maintain harmony. This can create a powerful, unconscious belief that saying no is a moral failing, leading to deep, unearned guilt for setting a perfectly healthy boundary. And here's the most critical part. What we often call guilt is actually fear in disguise. It's the fear of a difficult conversation, the fear of being disliked. If any of this is hitting home, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What's the biggest fear that comes up for you when you think about saying no? Sometimes just sharing it is the first step. And if you're finding this helpful, a quick click on the like button really does help more people find this message. 3 secrets to a guilt-free no. Okay, now that we know the why, let's get into the how. These aren't just tips, they are fundamental shifts in perspective that will help you say no and mean it without all the emotional fallout. Secret number 1, know what you're saying yes to. Every time you say no to one thing, you're automatically saying yes to something else. Saying no to working late on a project is saying yes to having dinner with your family. Saying no to a request that drains you is saying yes to protecting your mental health and showing up fully for the things that matter. Before you give an answer, just take a breath and connect with what your no is protecting. This isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation that builds your relationships on a foundation of honesty instead of resentment. Secret number 2, release yourself from fixing other people's feelings. This might be the hardest secret to put into practice, but it's also the most liberating. Your only responsibility is to deliver your no clearly and respectfully. You are not responsible for managing the other person's emotional reaction. Their disappointment or frustration is theirs to handle, not yours to fix. Trying to control how they'll react is the very thing that keeps us saying yes when we want to scream no. If you set your boundary with kindness and they still react poorly, that's information about them, not a judgment on you. Just be assertive, not aggressive. Secret number 3, practice the simple and firm no. You don't owe anyone a long, drawn-out explanation. In fact, over-explaining often just signals that your no is up for negotiation. Instead, get comfortable with simple, clear, and polite phrases. You can say, "Thank you so much for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now." Or, "My plate is just too full at the moment, so I'll have to pass." Even a simple, No thank you is a complete sentence. Start practicing this in low-stakes situations, like with a pushy salesperson, to build up your confidence. That initial discomfort you feel is a sign you're growing, not a sign you've messed up. That sinking feeling in your stomach doesn't have to be your default setting. The guilt that follows an unwanted yes isn't a sign that you're a bad person. It's just a signal from a brain that's wired for connection and shaped by a lifetime of social conditioning, but you have the power to rewire it.
Hey, if something in this video really spoke to you, don't just scroll past it. Click on one of these next videos and stay in the flow. And if you're feeling that fearless wolf energy, bold, grounded, unshakable, hit subscribe. We're building something powerful here with Fearless Wolf Life Coaching, and you're part of it. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear how this landed for you. Your story's just getting started, and it's becoming legendary.